All right, in this first section of this online course, we're going to talk about first principles of SaaS demos that sell. These are the foundation, and I want you to use a few analogies as you go through these foundations. There are species of bamboo who, after you plant the seed, take several years to even sprout above ground. And that's because they take several years to build a very complex, strong root system. Now, when they do finally sprout above ground, they grow at the rate of 2 to 3 feet per day. That is insane. And the analogy here is the reason they're able to grow so fast eventually is because they spent so much time on the foundations first. Building a skyscraper is the exact same way. Before you ever start building the high-rise building, the foundation is built deep, deep, deep into the ground so that when the high-rise is built on top of it, it's in a strong, stable place. It's not going to sway, it's not going to break down or tip over. And that's because the bulk of the building time is spent on building the foundation. Now, sales skills, and specifically SaaS demo skills, are the same way. If you first spend a lot of time on the foundations and the first principles that I'm going to walk you through, then the techniques, the words, the questions, the scripts, the structures are all going to work far, far better because you have these foundations in place first. So let's talk about the first one. Number one, first principle, the purpose of a demo is to catalyze a decision, not inform or get customers up to speed. Okay, this is what most SaaS sellers do. They might not consciously admit that this is what they're doing, right? If you ask them, they'll tell you, I'm trying to sell. But what their actions imply is they're trying to educate their customer. They're trying to inform their customer with the demo. Okay, and that's not the purpose of the demo. So if your job isn't to inform or educate or get your customer up to speed, what is the purpose of a demo? And it's to catalyze a decision. Now, what I'm not saying is that the purpose of every demo is to ask your customer to buy or not buy. That's only one decision among many, many decisions that are made throughout a sales process, right? That's the macro decision that happens at the end. But the way you can think of a sales process, or more accurately, a buying process, is it's a series of mini decisions that usually unlock the ability to then consider making the next decision. And eventually these decisions compound and lead to a purchasing decision if you're shepherding the buying process right. So your goal with your demo, and demos, by the way, aren't always the tool to catalyze the next decision to be made, but they often are. Your goal is to catalyze this next decision. So I want to give you an example or a set of lists between a product demo, which intends to inform, educate, and get customers up to speed, and a sales demo, which is intended to catalyze a decision. Okay, a product demo involves making the customer aware of your capabilities. A sales demo defines the next decision that will advance the process, and only making the customer aware of your capabilities in that context. Okay, a product demo makes the customer aware of your differentiators. A sales demo focuses on what would have to be true to make a positive decision, to make the next decision that needs to be made a yes, a thumbs up. Okay, a product demo showcases the most valuable parts of your product, quote unquote, around valuable. A sales demo showcases your product in a way that catalyzes the decision. Okay, a product demo emphasizes the art of the possible. And by the way, there's a time and place for art of the possible, but it's overused. A sales demo emphasizes problem solving and pain relief. Okay, those are very different mental models to demo through. A product demo focuses on build as much quote unquote value as you can, which usually ends up in a harbor tour of feature after feature after feature. And a sales demo shows only what catalyzes the decision and leaves out the rest. And we're going to talk more on that principle a little bit later. So I want to give you some examples of decisions that great demos and SaaS demos that sell intend to catalyze. Okay, it could be the decision to buy or not buy, right? This is the ultimate decision. It could be the decision to choose you or an alternative, either a competitor or dealing with, the status quo or an internal solution. But it doesn't have to be those purchase decisions. It could be the decision to introduce you to a key stakeholder or not to introduce you to a key stakeholder. It could be the decision to kick off a pilot or proof of concept or a formal evaluation, or to pause this initiative entirely. It could be a decision to declare you vendor of choice and begin negotiations with you in procurement and legal review, or to not declare you vendor of choice and either pause the initiative or declare someone else a vendor of choice. And it could be just as simple as the decision to agree on taking a next step with you or not. Okay, these are examples of decisions that your demo should catalyze. And so the point of this first principle is to get clear on the next decision that has to be made in your sales process with your customer, and then demo in context of catalyzing that decision, right? If you had an inbound lead come to you with somebody who doesn't have power, now the purpose of the decision is the purpose of the demo is to get clear on what decision they're going to make next. And that might be introducing you to power. And now that's the point of the decision. That's how you'll run your upfront contract. And that's how you'll demo. Okay, so walk away with the understanding that the purpose of a demo is to catalyze some sort of decision, not just to inform or educate or get customers up to speed.